Back here in San Jose, the Spartans and the Broncos all set here for Mountain West Conference action. Let's get you the starting lineups first for the visitors from Boise State. They'll go with 3 guards and 2 forwards. Danny Bays, Mary Kay Nero, Anna Osley, Elodie Lalott, and Abby Muse are the starting 5 for the Spartans. 3 guards and 2 forwards. Jada Holland, Sydney Richards, Sabrina Ma, and the 2 forwards, Nye Nicholas and Marissa Davis-Jones. As the opening tip goes to the Broncos, we are underway. San Jose State enters this contest only 1 Mountain West Conference victory, but most of the losses in conference, they have played teams very tough and not indicative of their performance, I think, this season. Bays all the way to the hoop, off the mark. The rebound to Lalott, and she finishes.
That was a good defensive possession for the Spartans up until that last play. And of course, when you play defense, when they're moving, when the offense is moving, you're able to stay with them. You want to make sure you close it out with the rebound.
Spartans back on the offensive end. Richards, right-handed dribble to the right elbow. Now here's Ma. And her layup does not fall, but she's fouled. Aggressive move to the hoop there.
Good patience as well. Richards kind of had to drive a little bit at the beginning, but decided to just pop her feet, pull it out, kick it out, and that created a better drive for Sabrina Ma.
That foul on Danny Bays, one of the standout freshmen for Boise State. The first free throw from Ma tickles the twine.
That's a player that you want to try to attack and get in as foul trouble as much as possible. She had 19 points against the Spartans last matchup.
And Ma, no surprise there, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. 85% free throw shooter coming into tonight. Nero goes to the corner, and Muse inside Lalott, and she is stuffed by Sabrina Ma. Held ball situation. The Spartans take over possession.
Broncos really like that cross screen motion. That's one that the Spartans are going to be defending pretty much all game. The Broncos want to be able to get the ball into the post to try to either her make a move or kick it out for an open shot, because the Broncos have some really good shooters out on the perimeter.
Well, the last time these two teams played, Sophia, the Spartans forced 20 Bronco turnovers, already won here early.
That's something that was definitely an emphasis last game and continues this game. You saw they're trying to apply a little bit of full court pressure, backing off after a little bit, but they want to continue that momentum that they had last game.
Well, Sophia, you called it in our open how Boise State wanted to go to Lalott. She has had all 3 touches offensively for Boise State, and she's converted on 2 of those 3 offensive possessions. Now here's Sydney Richards, turnaround J, and she buries it. Tied at 4. Nero brings it to the front court, double team. The ball goes over to Osley.
Spartans trying to change up their defense a little bit, create that trapping, try to get the turnover. Richards is a little late.
Well, Nye Nicholas gets the rebound, and they have the foul on Lalott. So pretty much every time down the floor, they've looked to Lalott, the Broncos have, and now they'll have to look to someone else as Lalott checks out. Trista Hull, the sophomore, replaces her.
In defending a player like Lalott, it's a little bit more complicated than just don't let her get the ball. The Broncos set a lot of screens, a lot of off-ball movement to try to create her open. So what the Spartans need to do is apply a little bit more ball pressure out on the perimeter, just make that pass harder to get inside, because even if they delay it for a second or 2, that helps the defender recover.
Held ball situation, the Spartans lose the ball on that possession, so it's back to Boise State. And Sophia, the Spartans went with a press right there, and Boise State and Trista Hull beat it as Hull gets a layup. Here's Holland, left wing, 6-4. Boise State leads San Jose State. Davis Jones will take it on the dribble. Forces up a shot over the hoop, and Boise State on the loose ball. And the ball out of bounds. Holland tried to draw the charge, did not. Abby Muse ran her over, but mishandled the pass anyway.
Good transition defense by the Spartans. The Broncos aren't really a team that typically gets out in transition much. That isn't their first look. But on a lot of missed shot opportunities or steals, they are looking to push the ball.
Ani Nichols is checked in for San Jose State. She puts up a shot, too strong off the glass, but Moreland is there to clean it up. And the Spartans tie this game at 6.
Great offensive rebound, great spin move to get the right angle, to get to her right hand. Just a pretty play.
Bays went inside, now they kick it back out. Bays spinning middle of the lane, and she's called for traveling.
Good, honest defense by Nichols. Not fouling, not reaching in. She kept her hands straight up, good verticality, and created the turnover.
And that's already the 3rd Boise State turnover early on. We've only played 4 minutes. Nicholas launches a 3 from the left side, off back iron. Loose ball is off Boise State, so the Spartans will get a new 20.
Without Lalot in the game, you kind of notice right away that Moreland has had one opportunity to actually get the offense rebound, another opportunity where she tips it out and creates another possession for the Spartans. Broncos need to make sure to box her out as she tries to tip it again.
Just as you say that, I think they got Moreland. Or no, it was Richards on the loose ball foul. I think maybe the Spartans would prefer that you give Richards the foul over Moreland.
So far, she's been playing well this game. Definitely a valuable player on the court. So yes, I would say that it's someone that you want to keep on the floor for sure.
Here's Narrow. Now it's back to Osley. Bays, spot up 3, swish. So Boise State hits the first long ball of this game, and they lead 9-6. 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
Half of Bay's attempts are 3s, so that's someone that the Spartans want to make sure they run her off the line and be connected to her at all times. You don't want her to get hot.
And Moreland turns the ball over there, a travel. Just kind of ran into a wall of defenders in the middle of the paint.
Looks like Spartans are back in the 1-2-2 press, trying to create a little bit of pressure and chaos for the Broncos.
And they draw the foul. That was Anna Osley who had the foul against her. That foul on Moreland. In talking with Gordy Presno, the head coach for Boise State earlier today, he mentioned how the team does struggle against more man-to-man and press defenses, and that's really what the Spartans like to do to create those turnovers, right?
It is what the Spartans have been trying to do. Broncos maybe having a little bit too much ease breaking the press. That could be the Spartans' intention, but especially for a team that likes to run a lot of half-court offense, the press can just be simply for the purpose of preventing them from being able to be in their half-court offense and just create less time on the shot clock to get those open buckets.
Osley was 2 for 2 on the trip to the line. Boise State's opened up an 11-6 lead. Inside to Moreland. She goes to the restricted area. Her shot is blocked by Muse. Now Narrow. One-on-one with Nichols, and she'll defer to Hall. And we've got a foul away from the ball. I think it's on Davis Jones. It is. So that's Davis Jones first, and that will take us to our first break. 11-6, Boise State leads San Jose State. This is Spartan Women's Basketball on the Mountain West Network. Back here at the Provident Credit Union Events Center, a little warmer in here than outside. 11-6, Boise State leads San Jose State. 4:32 left in the first quarter. Daniel Barrera and Sophia Jones on the call for this one. As Boise State takes it out of the break, and they promptly throw it away. Trista Hall on the turnover. That's the fourth for Boise State early on.
Spartans are doing a good job of being able to turn over the Broncos. You just want to make sure that you keep applying that pressure, keep forcing those turnovers, and then converting on the other end.
And meanwhile, the Spartans turn it over. Here's Narrow. Stops, turn around Jay, and the bank is open off the window and in. And Boise State has a 7-point lead, 13-6, 4 minutes left in the first.
A little bit of miscommunication on that transition defense. If you're Holland, you want to make sure that whoever has the ball is #1 priority. You got to make sure that you don't leave her and create that open shot for Narrow.
Moreland finds Nichols at the free throw line, terminates the dribble, pivots around. 5 on the shot clock. Davis Jones looking for Holland. Holland going to have to launch. She does. And at the horn, Holland scores high off the window and in. The bank has extended hours. 13-8, Boise State still leads San Jose State. Here's Bays. She'll shoot a 3 and bury it, top of the key.
That's the same stagger play that they were able to get, that Hayes was able to get a 3-point shot off earlier. Spartans want to make sure that they communicate on who's switching onto that to not let her have that open look again.
Well, San Jose State calls a 30 there. Here's another look at Jada Holland's shot. This was with 2 seconds on the shot clock. It actually went over that square that you're supposed to aim for. I don't think I've seen a shot like that since I've been watching basketball. That's a first, and I've been watching basketball for a while. I mean, the square's there for a reason, right? It's geometry, it's the angles, right?
Yeah, when you have a player like Muse that's kind of right in front of you, putting her hands up, you want to put a little bit more arc on that shot. Holland able to do that. And, I mean, at the end of the day, it puts points on the board. Doesn't matter how she gets it.
That's just the touch from Holland, that she's able to do that without putting it in the square, right? You have to have a very, I guess you could say, precise finesse.
You have to be very precise. She was able to put enough air and enough touch to be able to convert that one.
And we've got a loose ball foul here on Amaya Moreland. And for the Spartans, Moreland now in foul trouble with 2. And that's going to have Alani Fluker come into the game for Moreland. Marissa Davis-Jones also checks out. Nye Nicholas back in with Jasmine Singleton as well.
Going to be interesting to see how Fluker is able to play against the Broncos. Last game, she got injured and only ended up playing 15 minutes. She's another strong body that will able to cause some havoc down in the posts.
And you talk of the havoc down in the post. Fluker, very physical with Hull down low. They kick to Singleton. Right side 3, that's an air ball over the top of the hoop. Richards gets the ball back, though. The Spartans still with 20 on the clock. Holland was looking for Fluker, stops at the free throw line, now pivots in, puts up a shot, and it's off the left side of the iron. Back to Boise State on the break. Here's Pasco, and her layup won't fall. But Thompson is there following it up and draws the foul.
Usually in transition defense, you want to practice whoever doesn't put up the shot, that's the guard. You want to have one that gets all the way back and one that kind of goes to a little bit more so of the top of the key. You need to make sure that the Spartans have communication on who's getting back, because the Broncos have kind of been able to score at will in transition right now.
First free throw by Thompson, too strong off back iron. Tatum Thompson, here's another look at the foul. She is not a very good free throw shooter, 52%, but she makes 1 of 2 there. So I guess she played to the percentages. 17-8, Boise State leads San Jose State. Sabrina Ma back in. Ellie Bonai also in. Bonai had maybe her best game offensively. The last time the Spartans took the floor, 8 points was a season high for her.
Bonai is just kind of someone that's going to be really smart on the court. She's going to try to make as many of the right plays, the right passes. So good move by Coach Phillips to bring her out to try to create a little bit more movement on offense right now for the Spartans.
Nye Nicholas draws the foul going to the right low post. And we've got a minute 50 left in the first quarter. 17-8, Boise State leads San Jose State. There's another look at that foul. And it looks like they got Thompson on the foul. First free throw. Down and in.
If you're the Spartans, you want to make sure that you close out this quarter strong. You don't want to get into the same situation like last matchup where you're pretty much clawing from behind the whole game.
Second free throw on its way and pure. So Nicholas 2 for 2, and the Spartans down 17-10. Larovich in the game, and Thompson called for traveling. Tough sequence there for Thompson. You get hit with the foul. You only go 1 for 2 from the line, and then you turn the ball over. The freshman from Woodinville, Washington. Well, Sophia, you mentioned ending the quarter strong. Spartans with 90 seconds left can really trim this lead. Ma step back triple. She's got the bucket.
Sometimes when the offense breaks down a little bit and you get the ball, you just have to make a move and score. And that's exactly what Sabrina Ma was able to do, as it looks like the Spartans are coming out in a little bit of a zone.
Well, shooter's gonna shoot, and Sabrina Ma certainly a shooter. And Ma with the interception. Ma in transition, all the way to the hoop and scores, not even looking at the basket. Wow, that was a life hack from Sabrina Ma. And the Spartans within 2.
Great move by Ma to be able to control her body and use her body to prevent the defender from blocking her shot.
Here's another look at Ma. Twisting the body as she's going towards the hoop there. The Spartans a 7-0 run. Sabrina Ma 7 points. Boise State at the line right now. Trista Hull misses the first. The second free throw buried. Well, if people are just joining us, viewers are just joining us, this was a 16-8 game. Now all of a sudden 18-15. Just over 30 seconds left in the opening quarter. Bonai, left-handed dribble. She'll take the jumper, left short, back to Bonai. Ma open, a 3. That's off the front of the rim. And the Spartans another offensive rebound. Fluker trapped in the corner, looking for help. She finds Bonai. Under 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Singleton driving to the right side. Ma, a 3-ball. Off the mark. And finally, Boise State rips down a rebound. That's impressive by the Spartans, though, to get those second chances. Boise State is a very strong rebounding team, and the Spartans outworked them there.
They definitely outworked them. Bonai just able to be in the right spot at the right time. Good awareness to get it out to Ma. Even though the shot came off, Fluker was then able to create another possession for the Spartans.
And the first free throw deadens off the rim from Abby Muse, who finally came away with that rebound. Now, Boise State from the line has not looked great so far. Second free throw, though, is buried. Less than a second in the corner. Singleton will heave it from 3/4 court, and it's well short as the first quarter ends. 19-15, Boise State leads San Jose State. Stay with us. This is Spartan Basketball on the Mountain West Network. The 2023 Mountain West Basketball Tournament tips off this March in Las Vegas. The Spartan Ticket Office has a limited number of the best seats available. Reserve your seats for all the men's and women's games at the Thomas and Mack Center by calling the Spartan Ticket Office at 408-924-7589 or visiting sjsuspartans.com. Don't miss the 2023 Mountain West Basketball Tournament, March 5th through 12th in Las Vegas. You can see more great plays like that one just out of the break. 19-17, Boise State leads San Jose State. Now it's 21-17. Boise State gets a bucket back. Usually a little more tight defense in the Mountain West tournament. Sophia, right? I would say so.
I would agree. I see. You can say more tight defense, but also people can be a little bit more kind of on edge and maybe tighten up a little too much.
I see.
So you want to make sure that you have the balance between being tightened up and then not being too relaxed.
Marissa Davis-Jones on the last bucket for San Jose State. Ma on the ground and gets the ball for San Jose State. Another Boise State turnover. Singleton, left-handed dribble. Ma uses the left pivot fit, goes to her right, off-balance shot, unable to finish, but is fouled, and she'll go to the line.
Ma making a great use of her footwork. They're kind of playing the shot a little bit more up on her, leading her to be able to have these open drives like the last two possessions that she was able to score on.
And that seems like a layer to her game that she's added as we've gone throughout the season. Earlier in the season, we wouldn't see her take a player off the dribble. Now we are.
I would definitely agree. The Mountain West is definitely aware of how great a shooter Sabrina Ma really is. So the scouting report is obviously going to say that you want to make sure you have a hand in her face at all times. She's been working a lot with her quickness and agility on the side, getting in those extra workouts, and it's been able to show. Show off in that quick first step.
And not only showing off during gameplay when the action's moving, but also at the free throw line. An outstanding free throw shooter, 2 for 2 on that last trip. And Sydney Richards touches the air ball. It's off her. It stays with Boise State. But San Jose State has worked their way back. This game tied at 21 here with 8.5 minutes left in the half until now. The corner three ball buried by Trista Hall. Rather, that was Pasco on the three. Natalie Pasco, the 4-time Mountain West Freshman of the Week this season. She's the reigning player of the week. Ma down on the ground, and it's back out to Davis-Jones. 5 on the shot clock. Singleton goes to her right baseline. Pass deflected, and Pasco gets the ball for Boise State. Lalott back out on the floor for the Broncos. She had a quick start, but then got an early foul and went to the bench. Osley with the three, too strong. Pasco, the loose ball. Down low, and the attempt made by Abby Muse.
Looks like in that zone, the Spartans are trying to double down on Lalott. However, when you double down and do that double team, you want to make sure that whoever the closest pass is out to the perimeter is there, or else you're going to get a situation like they did where there's an open shot.
Richards rejected by Muse, who has it, shovels back to Osley. Osley open, right angle three, she's fouled on the attempt as the shot regurgitated by the rim. So Osley will get 3 shots. It was right in front of us, Sophia, and I'm wondering if we could see a replay to see where the contact was. Let's see it. Well,
one of those after the release shots, it kind of seems fouls, it seems like.
I guess you gotta call that one, but Richards, for her, that's another foul. The first free throw from Osley is there. There's the line on Osley tonight. Second free throw is good.
again, the Spartans have to make sure that when they are in this zone, that they don't let Boise play inside out like how they went to in those last 2 possessions. You can see really clearly that as soon as the ball got inside, they all collapsed, and it was an easy kick out for a shot.
Well, luckily for the Spartans, Osley only 2 for 3 on the trip. Here's Holland driving to the hoop and puts it off the window and in.
Spartans are trying to utilize a little bit more of handoffs and brush screens. Boise's doing a really good job of icing their screens, creating a poor angle for the Spartans to be able to come off those ball screens and attack.
Boise State will throw in from the near side. Well, the Spartans already 3 players with 2 fouls apiece. There's a lot. Kicked out, top of the key 3 by Pasco. She knew it was short, but Lalott tracks down the board. And then it's out of bounds off Boise State. So the Spartans force a turnover on that Holland defense.
Good job by the Spartans in Holland to not get discouraged with that offensive rebound, but to stick with it and get that turnover.
Spartans still trail by 5. Moreland will post up a lot. Spinning to her left and to her right. She scores and she's fouled. So send Moreland to the stripe.
Great footwork and patience by Moreland to be able to get that and one. Falling off balance, but able to have enough control of herself to flip that up and in.
So we'll see if Moreland can convert the 3-point play, bring the Spartans within 2. And the free throw too strong. The rebound to Muse, and Boise State will take it across the timeline. And Muse has the ball stripped from her by Ma. Nichols to the right side. The floater off the window and in.
Great push, great job of recognizing who she had in front of her and who the defenders were with her on the side, just to float it up and not try to force up a poorer shot.
Well, Mary Carnero is open in the corner, and her 3 off the front of the iron. Moreland tries to get away from Boise State, but cannot. A held ball situation, and the Broncos regain possession. Now, that last sequence we saw, Sophia, with Ma forcing the turnover, we talked about her adding layers to her game, and we were talking about the offensive side of things. Defensively, she's looked much better as we've gone throughout the year. Is there such a thing as learning how to defend at the college level?
Definitely so, and not only has she improved her on-ball defense, but she's always someone that's going to talk. So you'll always know where she is, and having that voice on the court is really helpful to all the other players that are with her on the floor.
Communication is key. Bays to the left side. Carnero in the near corner. She goes against Ma and draws the foul. Who's it on? And it's on Ma. So that's Ma's first foul. 4:48 to go here in the second quarter. 28-27, Boise State leads San Jose State. This is Spartan Basketball on the Mountain West Network. Sophia, have you ever been to a gymnastics meet? Any gymnastics event anywhere?
I have not, actually. But it's definitely something I really do want to get to one of those meets before the end of their season. They're all great girls. I see them around all the time. Very friendly. Fantastic
athletes, gymnasts are. And every now and then at the SAP Center, you'll have the national team will come and do like a showcase where they'll have the Olympic gold medalists. But if they're not in town, you've got San Jose State Gymnastics, which is champions themselves. So come out to the gymnastics meet. Out of the break, 30-27. Boise State leads San Jose State. 4:20 left in the opening half. There's Hansen, shoots a three, and she's got the triple.
Broncos doing a good job. If a team is playing 3-2 defense against you, the easiest way to break it is to just get the ball to the middle.
Here's Holland now to the left box, gets knocked down and draws the foul. Oh, Gordy Presnell, the head coach for Boise State, does not like the call.
That was a good seal by Fluker as well. Made her just a second late getting to Holland, ended up knocking into her.
And Gordy Presnell got an explanation there. There's our bird's eye view. First free throw from Holland off the mark, though, too strong. Well, San Jose State has stuck around in this game despite Boise State shooting 59% as the second free throw goes through for Holland. She's now got 4. Hansen to the right side and Hall. Baseline right drive, and she's fouled, and she scores on the layup. So score it and send Hall to the stripe. Well, that's Davis Jones' second foul. Sophia, this is something that we've seen before with San Jose State. They just have a lot of their key contributors getting in early foul trouble, and that really kind of handcuffs them.
It really does, especially if you're in a zone. One of the purposes of a zone is to prevent those one-on-one guarding the ball situations where you create a foul. And especially with how physical Boise is, it creates a lot of opportunities down in the paint for them to just go in and bang.
Boise State back with it after they block Singleton. Here's Hansen, launches another three. Doesn't get that one to fall off the front of the rim. Holland stops at the left elbow, back to Nicholas. She's thought about a three, now puts it on the dribble. She's blocked, and we have a charge called, an offensive foul against Nicholas. That's Nicholas's third foul, so that's a big one. I mean, here's another look at it. How long are we looking at her potentially sitting with 3 fouls, and we're not even through this first half?
I would say to be on the safe side, especially since she is a big, you want to make sure that you save her for down the stretch. So I would recommend, honestly, maybe sitting her out for the rest of the half or just telling her to be extra, extra conservative.
Here's Narrow over to Bays. Down low. Nice pass inside to Muse, who got into the restricted area and scores.
That's how the Broncos have been and will continue to break down the Spartans' defense. Just being patient, let the ball reverse, get it in, and open cut to the basket.
Boise State has now opened up a 10-point lead, 38-28, just over 2 minutes to go in this second quarter. The Spartans have been denied the last few offensive possessions. They're denied again. Bays on the steal. Narrow. It's over to Hansen, a triple. Off the right side of the iron, and then the Spartans run into each other. That's Kelemeni and Moreland who ran into each other. Now Alani Fluker in for Moreland. Well, some frustration by April Phillips.
Spartans bringing in a decent number of subs. They haven't had any field goals in the last 3 minutes and 37 seconds. So to close out this quarter, you want to make sure that you have the people on the floor that are going to execute the offense, not create any turnovers, but also defend. Well,
Sydney Richards, one of those players who's checked in. She's up on the baseline. She has 2 fouls, so she has to be very careful. There's a turnover. Fluker forces it to Nichols. Nichols all the way to the hoop and scores.
Great transition play with the steal from Fluker. Took a dribble, which is sometimes not the most usual thing for a post player. So good for her to be able to get the ball out of that traffic and get it to Nichols.
Narrow to Osley, bounce pass to Muse. Muse has the ball deflected out of bounds. It is off San Jose State. Swarming defense there by the Spartans. And we mentioned Sabrina Mott earlier and her improved defense. She was right there. Narrow looking, and that's a 5-second violation.
Great ability by the Spartans to be able to lock in that possession, get the 5-second call, fought through screens, stay with their man. Now let's see if they can convert on the other end.
Is that one of the most difficult spots on the floor to inbound from? It feels like you're kind of in a corner.
I would agree, because especially if you're the defender, you want to try to force to the short side if you're guarding that inbound player.
Here's Richards, crossover dribble, turnaround jumper, yes. Well, the Spartans within 6 now. We mentioned near the end of the first quarter finishing strong. It appears the Spartans might be able to do that in the second as well. But they leave Muse open down low as she slides from right to left and scores along the baseline.
Again, the pass that you want to try to prevent the least amount is that pass right there to the elbow free throw line area.
Well, the Spartans back with it, under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Nichols drives to the hoop. She's rejected. Out of bounds, though. It stays with San Jose State. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 20.7 on the game clock here before we go to halftime. Singleton to trigger it in. Looking, and we have a 5-second violation on the Spartans.
Both teams applying some really good blob defense. Those are kind of quick ways to just get a quick basket. Broncos able to get it on the other end.
And now the shot clock will be turned off for Boise State. 10 seconds to go in the first half. The Broncos lead 40-32. And we have a foul away from the ball. Singleton and looked like Hull ran into each other. It sounded almost like a car wreck at the free throw line. I'm not sure how they got mixed up there. Maybe moving off of a screen?
Perhaps a little bit of a tough position for Singleton to be in, where you want to try to cut off that drive. Hull was able to get up to that screen very quickly, and Singleton was a little blindsided. Have to make sure that someone calls that out.
Well, the first free throw from Hull off the mark. She shoots 67.5% from the line. The second free throw is there. Under 5 seconds to go. The Spartans will try and get the last shot. Here's Singleton at the horn. Nearly gets the triple, but it's too strong off back iron, and we head to halftime. 41-32, Boise State leads San Jose State. A very entertaining first half of basketball. Stay with us. We'll have our halftime show coming up next, right here on the Mountain West Network. (41-32), Boise State leads San Jose State here at halftime. Daniel Barrera alongside Sophia Jones. And Sophia, we see the leaders here for the Spartans. Not too many surprises. Sabrina Ma, 11 points, 4 of 5 from the field. Jada Holland, 5 points, but look at that statistic down at the bottom of the screen. 1 San Jose State assist in the first half. Surely that's got to change if the Spartans want to get back in this ballgame.
It does have to change. If you're the Spartans, yeah, right now it's kind of working, being able to go one-on-one and take their man off the dribble. But against a team like Boise, they're going to make the adjustments during this halftime. So you want to make sure that you come out, execute your offense, move the ball around.
Well, despite the lack of ball movement and passing from the Spartans, we do have highlights, lots of highlights, and here they are. You won't see many assists in these highlights, but you can still get unassisted points, and we're going to see some of those right now for Boise State off the turnover, and that's how a lot of the points have come for both of these teams have been off turnovers. Sabrina Ma there with a three that kind of energized the bench for the Spartans, but really it's kind of been a lot of spot-up shooting or in transition.
A lot of spot-up shooting. The Spartans are only 1 for 5 on three-pointers, with that one being the one that we saw Ma just make. Boise, on the other hand, they're 4 for 10. Don't want to leave those shooters open because they will shoot the ball and hit those shots.
Now, Boise State shooting 59% from the field. The Spartans shooting a respectable 41%. And San Jose State is only down by 9. So you have to like where you're at right now if you're the Spartans and you've kept it to a single-digit deficit.
You have to like, especially considering how the last matchup went with it, when they were down by 20 points at one time. But a lot of the high percentage field goal by the Broncos is mostly due to the fact that they're getting the ball inside a lot, so they're able to shoot those high percentage shots right around the basket.
All right, well, 41-32, Boise State leads San Jose State. We'll go ahead and take our last break before we return with third quarter action. Stay with us. This is Spartan Basketball on the Mountain West Network. (41-32), Boise State leads San Jose State. Here's some halftime totals. Daniel Barrera alongside Sophia Jones. Sophia, we mentioned the field goal percentage, but even more remarkable, I think, is that assist line. 10 assists for Boise State, 1 for San Jose State, and yet still only a single-digit deficit.
Boise has been running against this Spartan zone, and the best way to break a zone is by passing. So that's where you see a lot of the assists from Boise come from. On the other hand, the Spartans, you want to see them try to move the ball a little bit more. Broncos sticking more so in a man.
And we do expect to see a good finish. The last time these two teams played, January 29th, 2022, the last time these two teams played in San Jose. The Spartans defeated the Broncos 61-59 the last time these teams played in San Jose. They first met December 16th, 1994, but it was at a neutral site. It was actually in Berkeley at the then named Harmon Gym, now Haas Pavilion. And the Spartans fell in that game 57-53. So these two teams have been playing, these two programs have been playing since 1994, as Sabrina Ma, as we get started with the third quarter, loses the basketball.
Broncos doing a really good job of whenever someone drives into the paint by just clogging it up, making sure that they maintain the verticality.
And Spartans nearly had another turnover. It'll be an inbound for Boise State. Looks like on the far side corner, but in front of the Bronco bench. There's Lalott getting the feed from her teammate Bays, and she scores. Well, we mentioned the lack of assists for the Spartans. Here's another one for Boise State.
Really simple pick and roll basketball, coming off the screen, lobbing it up for your big, able to create a very easy shot.
Davis Jones shoots a three. That's off the back iron, won't go. And Lalott draws the foul on Sabrina Ma. So now Sabrina Ma with 2 fouls. You mentioned the simple pick and roll, and that was somewhat on display, and I guess you could say celebrated during the NBA All-Star Weekend, which took place in Salt Lake City. Of course, the Stockton to Malone pick and roll was so simple yet so effective, right?
Exactly. It's really all about the angles that the player is able to create coming off of that ball screen, how good the person rolling is, or if they decide to pop. Boise running a lot of flip offense, which is primarily pick and rolls.
There's the rebound on the miss for Boise State. Abby Muse on the ground with Singleton. And we have a loose ball foul. I think it's on Singleton. It is.
Looks like the foul was on
Richards. Pardon me.
One of the easiest ways to kind of create a foul, you saw it on the other end with Sabrina Ma, now with Richards. where you're kind of just both clawing at the ball, trying to fight for it, end up getting a little bit too aggressive.
Well, we just saw the replay there. I don't know how that ended up being a foul on Richards. She got landed on top of herself. But it is a foul on Richards. It's her third. There's a floater in the lane, does not fall. And now Richards over to Davis Jones on the save. Davis Jones driving. Puts up a shot, pardon me, and scores.
Good take by Davis Jones. She recognizes that she has a little bit of the quickness mismatch against Lalott, able to take her to the basket and stopped up short for that pull-up instead of going in too deep and getting blocked.
Lalott down low. Muse draws the foul. And it's on to Maya Moreland. Well, that's Moreland's third. So you've got Moreland with 3, Richards with 3, Nicholas with 3.
One of those situations where as soon as the ball gets passed, you want to make sure to jump to the ball and make sure you're in the good positioning. Moreland was rotating a little bit late. That's where she got caught up in that spin move.
Abby Muse hits the first shot. 44-34. Boise State leads San Jose State. There's Muse, 10 total points tonight. And do we have a lane violation? Or was there a foul? The free throw was missed. And now we have a discussion amongst the officials. And they tell both teams to go back to their benches. So I'm wondering if there was a foul off the rebound or if it's a lane violation.
Could definitely see some arms flying in that possession. Not sure if got a little bit too aggressive and trying to box each other out.
Well, they called a foul on Moreland, and now they're going to review it. So I'm guessing they're going to review the severity of the foul?
Most likely. Like I had mentioned earlier, I kind of saw some arms flying. Don't know if they're reviewing it to try to see if there was a shot above the neck.
Well, even if there's not, 4 fouls on Moreland. Let's see on the replay. You see them positioning, and that's right in the face of Lalott. So that's definitely going to be above the neck.
Right in the nose, probably, to be exact.
And Lalott already wearing that protective mask. I think we mentioned the Rip Hamilton. I just call it the Rip Hamilton mask now. But I think we mentioned that earlier in the season. That's one of those plays where you're glad you're wearing the mask, I think.
Definitely so. Moreland just got a little bit too aggressive in trying to break the arm bar by Lalott. Through her, trying to get her arms up, making that pinch for the box out. Got a little bit too aggressive.
Well, it looks like the officials might be done, or are they zooming in at another angle? We saw it just on the initial replay. So this is a big call potentially. 44-34 is the score.
This is one of those possessions where it's possible to switch momentum, and you definitely want to make sure it goes in your favor and not the other team's.
Well, the Spartans already having to dig themselves out of a hole. And Boise State, offensively, they've been very efficient, shooting 56%. And so even if you're able to match them possession for possession, they're shooting so well that it's a tall order.
Definitely a tall order. Some of their two highest scorers, Muse with 10 and Lalott with 6 points. That's just them feeding their bigs, getting the ball inside, and then just banging and go to work.
And they have not been shy about doing that. From the opening tip, it seemed like they were going down to the low post.
Yeah, and then you also see Boise shooting 40% from the three-point line. That's one of the most high percentage shots when the ball goes inside first, then it's kicked out for the three.
Well, the officials now discussing near mid-court, and we may get clarification on what this call is. We will get clarification. And they said it was an intentional foul?
I believe that's what I heard as well.
I think they're going to upgrade. Is that an upgraded foul then? Well, now they're informing the scorer's table. So it looks like it will be an upgraded foul. Mary Kay Narrow going to take a foul shot. And I believe Boise State will end up with possession as well.
One of those situations, if you're Moreland, there was no intent behind the action, but your arm just kind of got caught in the wrong place, being a little too overly aggressive.
And you see Ellie Bonai on the bench just kind of trying to talk up Moreland there. It's a veteran move. That's where it helps to have those years of experience that Bonai has.
Definitely. Her presence is one of those that's felt on the court and on the bench during practice, all of it, where you're just able to tell that this player has done a lot. They've been able to accomplish a lot, been through a lot. So it's just that advice and presence that they're able to have.
And those are those intangibles that you don't see on a stat sheet. No one has a go-get-'em statistic per se per season, and there's a turnover by Boise State. So not a terrible result for the Spartans there. Sure, you give up the 2 free throws, but then Boise State turns the ball over. So now it's still only a 12-point deficit.
The way that the game is played today, this is very doable.
And we have a foul on Boise State now. It's on Danny Bays. So Bays the guilty party. Davis Jones inbounds to Holland.
Looks like Boise's in a little bit of a zone now.
There's a 3 from Richards. Too strong off back iron. The Spartans get the offensive rebound. Davis Jones surveys. Finds Richards. Well, you can cure a lot of immediate ills here if you get a bucket on this possession and you're the Spartans. 3 on the shot clock. Holland, scoop to the hoop and scores.
Good quick leg layup by Holland. Not letting Lalott be able to block that shot.
And Holland intercepts the pass there. She's all over the court right now. Fluker is checked in for Moreland. Here's Richards. She'll take it all the way, and it is over the hoop. Lalott ends up with the basketball.
One of those situations where you have to be happy with the shot that you were able to get. Richards tried to use her body, force a little bit of the contact. Just didn't go the way in the result.
Bays, a 3 from the left free throw line extended, won't go, and Abby Muse is fouled. And that foul on Davis Jones, that's her 3rd. Nye Nicholas and Jasmine Singleton check in. Marissa Davis Jones and Ani Nichols check out.
Spartans trying to apply some pressure, put some trapping defense on the Broncos. It's just really important when you have 2 people on the ball that you need to make sure once it's out of that person's hands, you got to sprint back.
And we heard April Phillips imploring her team to do that. That's one thing in talking with April Phillips earlier in the season, and in talking with the head coach for Boise State, Gordy Presnell, this morning. April Phillips has said, we're going to play hard for the full 40 minutes, for the full game. Gordy Presnell has said they play hard every single game. They're never out of a game. And I'm sure for Phillips, very upsetting if she perceives that it's not the case, that you're not sprinting to your position.
It is frustrating, especially when you're trying to create steals. That's the main point of a press defense. So you want to create steals, but in that commotion, you want to make sure that you're going everywhere and sprinting with intent.
So 46-36 is our score here, and we have another discussion amongst the officials. So let's see here what they might be looking at. Well, I'm not sure what they're looking at. You saw Nye Nicholas say something after she was fouled, and then the Boise State player kind of pointed over at her. Well, we still haven't played even 5 minutes in this third quarter. And part of it is because we've had to review some fouls.
A large part of it. Also, Broncos already in the bonus with that 5:48 left to go in the game. So if you're the Spartans, you want to make sure that you don't keep putting them on the free throw line, as they've been able to shoot 64% this game.
Well, the overhead camera shows that there was some head contact there. And then you see Alani Fluker come in and kind of try and separate Nye Nicholas from the Boise State player. I think that was Abby Muse down there. So I'm sure that they're probably reviewing for head contact. They might also be reviewing to see if anything was said between the players. And Nye Nicholas, that's her 4th foul now.
Earned a technical foul by Nicholas, showing some of that emotion after the play.
Well, the free throw good from Nye Nicholas. And officials have different levels of where they'll call that tech. And to me, during the play, as the second free throw good from Nicholas, during the play, I thought, oh, it's a foul. She'll go to the line. And then it ends up being reviewed for a technical. Where's the line there?
Kind of one of the discussions that you see a lot in women's sports, which is to what extent are we allowed to show emotion, get pumped up, be fired up. Definitely different levels for each ref, but in a situation like that, you don't want to shy away from showing emotion. You shouldn't feel like you can't be yourself and do that.
I know that I'm not an official, but to me, I didn't see anything there that would warrant the technical foul. Now, I also was not close enough to hear what was said, but as you were stating, it looked like just a show of emotion. And, well, San Jose State on the short end of that decision as Lalott scores. And unfortunately for Nye Nicholas, that's a big foul because it's her 4th, so we may not see her again until the 4th quarter.
Might not. You see in that last possession where they went into Lalott, they're always going to go into the post. They love that look. They play inside out. So having Nicholas on the floor is huge just because she's a big body presence.
Anna Osley commits a foul away from the ball. 50-38, Boise State leads San Jose State. 5:16 to go in the third. Inbounded to Ma. Stops at the left elbow. Backs it up to Holland, and the Spartans almost have an over and back. Holland juggles it. And Holland goes through the defense, but leaves the layup short. Oslin. Back to Bays. Well, you've got Lalott over there. And Ma getting that tough defensive assignment. Very physical down low. Here's Lalott, and she scores on the undersized Ma in that situation.
If you're the Broncos, that's definitely a matchup that you want to try to exploit. Ma is smaller, and Lalott has just been having a game so far. She's 5 for 6 for field goals. So especially if it's a situation where you have a smaller player on her, you want to keep feeding her.
4:13 left in this one, and you figure the Spartans may be forced into that matchup due to the foul trouble. 52-40, Boise State leads San Jose State. Stay with us. This is Spartan basketball on the Mountain West Network. Been any baseball games, any softball games? Are you a baseball or softball person?
After playing basketball pretty much my entire life, and as well running track, baseball is a little bit too slow paced for me personally.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. And we've got a ball down on the floor and a jump ball. And it stays with Boise State. Well, basketball is a faster sport than baseball.
Definitely so. I hear a lot of good things about Oracle Park all the time, though, so I feel like...
You've never been?
No, I've never been.
Oracle Park is a great place to see a sporting event. And you don't necessarily need to like baseball, I think, to enjoy it. As Lalott down low, and she gets the bucket. I highly recommend Oracle Park or any great baseball park, even if you're not into baseball. Think of it as like going to a fair.
I've kind of heard that before, where a lot of times, sometimes it's not even about watching the actual game, but just being there and having the experience.
Gotta get a hot dog. If you're not into a hot dog, you can get a crab sandwich, I think, in the Bay Area at least. Every ballpark, I think, has their special cuisine. That's right, Turkey Mike's Barbecue down the road at Excite Ballpark, home of the San Jose Giants. Matt Taylor, our director, in the ear, reminding me of that. You got to get some Turkey Mike's sometime. Here's Lalott, too strong on the layup. Muse goes back up and is fouled. She'll go to the line. One thing I do like about basketball that baseball doesn't have, a clock and time.
I would definitely agree with that. I feel like I've definitely asked the question before, how long is an actual baseball game? Because I don't know.
Yeah, you know, when people ask me that, I say, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to last. When will you be home? I don't know. When the game's over, when's that going to be? I don't know. Abby Muse, second free throw. Off the mark. Lalott, the rebound, and the putback.
Lalott is just a force that the Spartans are having a little bit of trouble stopping right now. She's up to 12 points off of 6 of 8 field goals, as well as 6 rebounds.
Lalott having a game. There's Ma. She's having a game, a triple from the right side, and she scores. Sabrina Ma, 14 points.
Much needed three-point basket by Ma to cut into this deficit. You have to score points, and especially threes will help even more.
And the Spartans force the turnover there, 56-43. Boise State still on top over San Jose State. Ma gets a breather. Holland out there with Davis Jones, Nichols, Fluker, and Richards.
Spartans are in a little bit of a horn set right now. Looks like they're trying to lob it to get into the post for Richards.
And a foul away from the ball on Osley. Abby Muse checks out. Trista Hall back in. The Spartans hanging around. You hang around long enough, you might be able to get the lead. And there's Ani Nichols to the hoop, can't score. And the ball off San Jose State. The Broncos trying to beat this press, and Nichols gets the steal.
This is one of the primary ways that the Spartans were able to come back in their last matchup against the Broncos, by just applying a lot of pressure on defense, doing a full court zone, trapping, having their hands up, getting deflections and steals.
Richards will launch a three. Off the mark, and Lalott secures the board. Broncos up 56-43. Just over 90 seconds to go in the third quarter. Hall kicks it back out to Osley. 7 on the shot clock. It goes back to Hall on the left low post, and she scoops and scores.
Spartans went back to the zone, able to force a last-second shot by the Broncos. Davis did a good job of just maintaining her verticality, just a tough finish.
Holland looking inside, finds Nichols. Nichols with the three. Off the mark, and Lalott another rebound. Lalott now with 8 rebounds to go with 14 points. The double-double watch is on.
If you're the Spartans, you kind of left a couple points on the board with that open missed three by Richards, and that missed inbounds play earlier as well.
And Osley hits the triple, nothing but net on the second chance. 61-43, Boise State has opened up an 18-point lead. Spartans haven't scored in over 2 minutes. Nichols puts it on the deck. And there goes Holland all the way to the hoop. She goes through the Boise State defense like brought through cheesecloth there and draws the foul. 61-43. Just over 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's another look. Just splits both defenders there, Sophia.
When in doubt, the Spartans are always going to turn to their penetration. Holland does a great job of being able to get into the paint, creating the foul, just off of the pure athleticism, able to take the Broncos off the dribble.
Second free throw has the leather meet the lace. And under 10 seconds now to go in the third. Spartans down 17. 5 seconds left. Maya Hansen brings it up. Hansen is unable to get a shot off. Did they have a foul before the buzzer? Or was it Sabrina Mawant's traveling right in front of us? But if there was contact made with the wrists, no, there was not. Traveling. And now are they going to review and see if there's any time left on the clock? I don't think there was. You would think there might be, well, there's 0.3 of a second left. You'll need a, what was it, Derek Fisher catch and shoot?
Pretty much a full court pass and a tip into the basket.
Well, the Spartans won't try that, and we'll go ahead and go to the fourth quarter. 61-44, Boise State leads San Jose State. 10 more minutes of regulation left on the Mountain West Network. Fourth quarter underway, 61-44. Boise State leads San Jose State. Daniel Barrera and Sophia Jones with you on the Mountain West Network. The Spartans have some work to do to get back into this one.
Broncos coming out of the quarter in a zone look, trying to throw off the Spartans' momentum and flow of offense a little bit.
Holland, turnaround jumper, and that's a brick off the left side of the backboard. Boise State on the rebound. Inside now to Muse. Kick back out, right corner. Oh, the triple. Rather, that is Natalie Pasco. So Pasco, 6 points. The Spartans have kind of kept the standout freshman at bay, but she hurts them there. 20-point lead for the Broncos. Richards crosses over to the free throw line. The jumper off the heel of the iron, and the rebound to Muse.
Spartans are trying to go a lot of one-on-one right now. It kind of seems like if they want to be able to get good looks from this Bronco defense, they want to make sure that they're getting those ball movement, getting those rotations, having the ball on both sides.
Well, I just mentioned how the Spartans were keeping Pasco at bay, and she just buries 2 straight triples. And now it's a 23-point lead for Boise State. 67-44, 8:23 left in the fourth quarter. There's another look at the 3 by Pasco. And we will go ahead and, well, they're saying it's a San Jose State timeout. We'll go ahead and step away here for just a moment. This is Spartan basketball on the Mountain West Network. Back here at the Provident Credit Union Event Center. Upcoming schedule for the Spartans. They play the Fresno State Bulldogs on Saturday, 1 p.m., a very special broadcast. Sophia will be on the call with Mark Jones, her father, so tune in for that. And it's also the rivalry game. And then at Utah State on the 28th to wrap up the regular season schedule. And then Las Vegas, the Mountain West Conference tournament. So only 2 games left after this one for San Jose State. Sophia, looking forward to Saturday, I bet.
I am. I definitely am. Last year when we had a game on NBC, my dad was able to call me playing, and now I get to call it with him. So
that's got to be a first, right?
Oh, definitely.
And the block from Nye Nicholas, but it's kicked back out. A 3-ball put up by Pasco. Off the mark. And Narrow will back things up. There's a jumper just inside the arc. And now Boise State showing how good of an offensive rebounding team they are. This will be their 3rd opportunity at some points in this possession. Another 3 put up, that time off target, off to the left by Muse. So San Jose State back with the basketball.
In those types of possessions where you give up multiple offensive rebounds, you got to make sure that you're doing the work in terms of making sure you put a body on someone, box them out, instead of just trying to get into a jumping contest, especially when the Broncos have the height difference over the Spartans.
Moreland draws the foul there on Trista Hull. Singleton and Holland check out. So Moreland will go to the line. Ani Nichols is checked in with Ma. First free throw up and good. Sophia, I think I've asked you this before off air, but for our viewers at home, have you ever called a game with your dad at any level?
No level. This is the opportunity right here that Coach Phillips was very encouraging of me doing. She kind of set this up a little bit. This is my first broadcasting experience other than doing some podcasts with Locked On Warriors hosted by Sarah Salsaz.
And there's a foul beyond the timeline. Now you have siblings that play sports. You and your your dad ever maybe have a mock commentary in the crowd?
No, because I would say my dad was more so spending time coaching us and trying to give us pointers.
Oh, you can't be impartial then if you're coaching.
True.
And fifth foul on Sydney Richards. So Sydney Richards fouls out for San Jose State. 6:44 left in the fourth quarter, and with so many Spartan players in foul trouble, it is somewhat surprising that a Spartan player did not foul out sooner. I think that speaks to the discipline defensively of the team to be able to stay on the court.
They've shown some discipline. You can even see it in Nye Nicholas. She got 4 fouls kind of right in the middle of the third quarter. Still on the floor right now.
Meanwhile, for Boise State, this is a team that is playing very well as Lalott finishes, and she's fouled on the bucket. So Lalott just continues to produce inside. She's now got 16, and Boise State's up 69-46. But Boise State, they have won 6 of their last 7. Barring a major comeback by San Jose State, they will have won 7 of their last 8. And this is really the time that you want to be playing well and in which you want to be healthy going into conference tournament time. And it appears that Boise State has both of those things going for them right now.
Both, yes. Especially going into the tournament, you want to have a certain level of momentum. You want to be able to get that good seeding position. Spartans too looking up to come for the Fresno State and Utah State on a little bit of a win streak.
There's Holland with it. Now, we mentioned that the game is special on Saturday, as there's 3 on the shot clock. Holland rejected, but fouled, and the foul looks like it's on Lalott. No, it's actually on Abby Muse. But we mentioned how the game on Saturday is special for you, Sophia, because you're broadcasting the game with your dad, Mark Jones. For those of you who don't know, Mark Jones, a national broadcaster, does college football, NBA games, called some NBA Finals games as well, and is the television voice of the Sacramento Kings. They've been lighting the beam a lot this past season. Full disclosure, I am a Kings fan, so excited about that. But the game on Saturday, it's also a rivalry game. San Jose State, Fresno State. And both teams this season have been struggling, but it's that rivalry game. What element does that bring to a game in which maybe a casual observer might say there's not a lot on the line?
Whenever you have a rivalry game, you always look kind of for a little bit of heightened emotions, whether that's both teams get a little bit more chippy, they're fouling maybe a little bit more, but look to see a very physical game on Saturday, I would definitely say.
So before you came to San Jose State, or when you decided that you were going to come to San Jose State, was it just inherent that you're not supposed to like Fresno State? I know that when I first came to San Jose State, immediately as a student, you just wanted to beat Fresno State. I'm wondering if it was the same with you.
I would say definitely as soon as I came in, especially with the teammates that I had, there were a lot of people that played against people on Fresno. So there is that aspect of they know each other a lot too. The schools kind of recruit a little bit similarly. So it's definitely a game where both the coaches and the players are telling you, look, we have to win this one. You have a lot of crossover. Maybe you played with those players in high school or junior high. Exactly.
Those bragging rights on the playground almost.
Very true.
There's a 3. It's dead and off the front of the rim. Boise State, another offensive rebound. Now Lalott down low. Doesn't score, and Moreland secures the rebound. You know, when I used to play basketball when I was a kid, I don't play much anymore now, but it always seemed like the best feeling in the world when you've won on the playground. And it was the worst feeling in the world when you lost. And I don't know why that was, but that just seemed to be the emotions that the game kind of brought out, and I would imagine they still bring out for college and professional athletes.
There's definitely a pride aspect to it, especially when Fresno State and San Jose State, the rivalry expands to all sports. So it's definitely one that you have a lot of emotion attached to it.
The game is always fun as Ma, the active hands, deflect the ball out of bounds. The game is always fun, but I think after a loss, maybe you forget how much fun it was at the time when you lose, and when you win, you always remember. And I'd imagine it's that much sweeter against a rival.
There is definitely an extra edit element where you have those bragging rights over your rival, and you can say, oh, you guys didn't beat us, like you're the worst of the rivalry.
That's just the best part of it, right?
Exactly.
Boise State will try and inbound again.
Same thing.
The Broncos up by 20 with 4:18 left in regulation. Hansen, left-handed dribble to the free throw line. Pasco inside to Thompson. She draws the foul. And that foul on Marissa Davis-Jones, that's her fourth.
In that situation where you want to protect the person coming off the screen, but you also want to make sure that you recover quick enough to, one, try to not even let the ball get into the post or the roller, and two, so you don't end up with a foul like that.
69-49. And the first free throw. Off the mark. Second free throw on its way. And that rattles home. Here's Holland along the baseline to Ma. And Ma stepped out of bounds.
Spartans were trying to run some pistol action with that handoff to Holland. Tried to get that drift pass to Ma. Wasn't able to convert off of that play call.
Well, San Jose State played Boise State much closer on the road in the loss on New Year's Eve. And in talking with Gordy Presnell, as there's a charge drawn by Jada Holland. That foul on Thompson, so the Spartans get the ball back. But in talking with Gordy Presnell, he expected a very tough game this evening for his team. The Spartans, they've just dipped below 40% shooting for the game recently, tonight. So as a lot of this, just Boise State has made adjustments and kind of locked in, and they've gotten healthy, and that's why we're seeing this increased deficit.
I would say you are seeing some of that, especially when last time it was still a 20-point game between, or at one point the Broncos did have a 20-point lead. Spartans just haven't been able to dig in the same way to pull themselves out of the deficit.
And the foul trouble probably partially to blame for that as Sabrina Ma is fouled. She goes down to the ground. This has turned into quite a physical game here.
Very physical. You saw last quarter the Spartans put the Broncos into the bonus pretty early. Now with that foul, the Spartans just got into the bonus.
So Ma goes to the line. And the first free throw is in. (70-50), Boise State leads San Jose State. 3:14 left in the fourth. Second free throw is in, 70-51. Now, one thing about San Jose State, as Holland almost causes the turnover, the Spartans not quitting in this game. They continue to play hard. And that's been them the entire season, as Ma gets rewarded for that effort with the 3-ball.
Spartans definitely trying to control the tempo a little bit, do a lot of trapping, trying to get steals as they create another turnover, trying to get some quick baskets.
And one of the bright spots for the Spartans as they'll get the ball back has been Sabrina Ma. 19 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. She has lit it up. Here's Davis Jones. Pushes it off the window and in. Well, the Spartans have strung together 2 great offensive possessions off of their defense. It's a 14-point deficit. Osley to Hull. The 3 in the corner, left short by Bays, and a loose ball foul on San Jose State. That's on Ma.
Again, the Broncos have just been out-rebounding the Spartans, especially offensive rebounding. They have 17 to the Spartans 7. Total, they have 39 in comparison to the Spartans 18.
Well, before that free throw by Hull, it was a 7-0 run for the Spartans over the last 68 seconds. But when you're down 21, you're going to need more than a 7-0 run, which has now ended as Hull gets both free throws. 72-56, Boise State leads San Jose State. Under 2 minutes left in this game. Davis Jones, spot up 3, short.
Broncos trying to learn a little bit from their mistakes last time when they let the Spartans get a little bit too close. They're able to take care of the ball a little bit better in this pressure defense by the Spartans.
And Ma forces the turnover. That's another great defensive play by her. Bounce pass. Davis Jones finishes at the other end. "14-point game. The Spartans not quitting in this one as the ball goes towards us. It actually went towards April Phillips. I couldn't actually see where the ball was going. And now we have, well, let's see the replay here. They call a 10-second backcourt violation on Boise State. Well, the Broncos have gone cold. No field goals the last 5+ minutes. Well, we had the horn buzz as we went back to live action, but we play on anyway. Holland. Here's Ma. She'll try another 3. Off target. Davis Jones, the rebound. Puts it up again, scores, and she's fouled. So send Davis Jones to the stripe. The clock continues to run. 72-60, Boise State leads San Jose State. Well, they're going to have to add some time to this clock, I think. After that play, you should have had the clock stop right there. And it kept running. So this might be a lengthy delay. It's the first time we've had a lengthy delay today, Sophia. Not a big deal, right?
Not a big deal. That was just great play by Davis. Able to get that offensive rebound, continue her pursuit, and finish with a really strong move, get the and one.
Here it is again. Now, Davis Jones goes up, makes the shot. There's the foul. Clock should stop. The problem is the clock kept going, and it went for a good while. Well, now the clock reads 10.4 seconds. We know that's not right. Here's a look at some of the totals. For the Spartans, the two stats that really stick out, the assists and the total rebounds. You expected Boise State to be fantastic rebounding the basketball. I don't know if we expected the lack of ball movement from San Jose State like we've seen here tonight.
Boise State just, in that man-to-man defense, did a really excellent job of collapsing and preventing those easy kickouts. Spartans just weren't able to convert against this tough defense.
Davis Jones will go to the line. The clock has been adjusted. 64 seconds left, so the Spartans pick up 10 seconds. And Davis Jones converts and completes the three-point play. 72-61. 1 minute to go. And Ani Nichols fouls Hansen. Well, Hansen, not the player you want to foul if you're San Jose State. She's a 91.8% free throw shooter entering the game tonight. And this will be her first attempt at the line.
If you're the Spartans, you have to think that after this possession, you're going to box out. Very important, box out, get the rebounds, and try to get a quick early bucket on the other end. Just make sure that they're executing.
And Hansen goes right up to the line and puts the first one in. I think with most great free throw shooters, what I notice is they just step right up and let it fly. There's not a lot of thinking involved. It's almost second nature. But Hansen misses the second one. The Spartans will take that. 50 seconds left. San Jose State down 12. Davis Jones, middle of the lane, and a foul is called. A foul on Abby Muse. Well, that's kind of what you want, right? I mean, you potentially get points with no time running off the clock. You've got Singleton, or rather not Singleton, you've got Davis Jones up there. She is a adequate free throw shooter.
This is a good opportunity for the Spartans. While the 2 points is great, you want to make sure that you also try to find your shooters, being Sabrina Ma on the court, because you can get 2 points, but to really cut this deficit, you need some threes.
Well, Davis Jones makes the first. And I'd imagine you'd want to try and keep the ball out of Hansen's hands on an inbound play. Second free throw won't go. Holland the rebound, forces the shot up, scores, and she's fouled.
Great effort by Holland, able to get that rebound sky up there among some trees and get the and one, cutting this deficit to a single-digit one.
So this might be a 6-point swing right here. Holland drills the free throw. And the Spartans are within 8, 73-65, 44.8 seconds to play. We've seen stranger things happen. The Spartans are still in this ball game, but you had Davis Jones. She got the foul, and so you had the 2 points there, but she only made one of two. Holland then gets the putback. So you get, rather, it was a 4-point swing, but still monumental. The Spartans, 5 of their last 7 from the field, and for a Boise State team that has struggled offensively the last 6 minutes, you have to feel like you can win this game, I think, or make it very interesting, which they've already done.
The Spartans have to feel that way. They have to go out on the court and realize that they can score a couple quick points, get some stops, just a stop and a score. Think about it possession at a time.
Well, if you're just joining us, San Jose State had a 21-point deficit. It's now down to 8.
Yes, outside.
The inbound to Nero. She's fouled by Moreland, it looks like, and that's going to be Moreland's 5th. Somewhat of an interesting decision, I think, by Gordy Presnell to have Hansen throw the ball in. Hansen, a 91% free throw shooter, although she was 1 for 2 from the line in her trip to the line. Mary Kay Narrow, maybe you look to get the ball into her hands. She is capable, 84% free throw shooter, but maybe also because she's a junior. So there's a little more veteran presence in crunch time. Is that the thinking?
Some more veteran presence. She's able to be a little bit more calm under these circumstances, for sure.
So Narrow to the line for 2 very important free throws and 2 rotations down and in on the first. Mary Kay Narrow, the granddaughter of Basketball Hall of Famer Rick Adelman, former NBA coach. She misses the second though. Here come the Spartans, under 40 seconds. There's Ma, driving, middle of the lane. She scores, and she's fouled. Another 3-point opportunity for San Jose State.
Great job by the Spartans, being able to get the ball, pushing it, Holland throwing the kickback pass to Ma, getting that good angle to be able to convert the basket.
Well, Sabrina Ma has 21 points tonight. 6 of 9 from the field. She misses the second free throw though, and a huge rebound. And we've got a held ball situation. And Boise State keeps possession. So that was a big time rebound for the Broncos. A 30-second timeout now. 74-67, Boise State leads San Jose State.
Spartans were almost able to get another big break with Singleton getting her hand on the ball, able to create that jump ball. Just the possession arrow is not in their favor.
And had Sabrina Ma made that free throw, she would have matched her career high, which was earlier this season when she had 22 against Air Force last month. Now, during that week, we talked about the Mountain West Freshman of the Week award to all of these Boise State players. Sabrina Ma, during that career high performance, after that, she won Mountain West Freshman of the Week. And if she was off other teams' radars before that moment, she certainly wasn't after.
Back-to-back 20-point performances by Ma in her pursuit to be able to get that Mountain West Freshman of the Week award.
So now 31.3 seconds to go, and fouled is Maya Hansen. So the freshman goes to the line.
You mentioned earlier about how their highest, or one of their highest free throw percentage shooters was taking the ball out. Sometimes that quick pass in, then back to the inbounder after they step in really quickly, is just able to take more time off the clock so that they're not getting fouled right away.
And the seconds matter right now. 8-point lead for Boise State, and only an 8-point lead it remains. The Broncos, a lot of 1-for-2 trips from the line. 23 seconds left. Holland is fouled before the shot. Or is it away from the ball? No, it is on Maya Hansen. That's her second foul. 22.2 seconds remaining in regulation. Spartans down 8. Holland, the first free throw is drilled. Jada Holland now 13 points in 32 minutes. The second free throw swished home. 6-point game. Or if we look at it from a best case scenario for San Jose State, 2-possession game.
2-possession game for sure. You can imagine with 22.2 seconds left that you want to try to get it to your shooter, get the 3 ball. The and ones have been working well for the Spartans these last couple of possessions down the floor, but you don't necessarily want to bank on that.
Well, you look at the personnel on the floor for the Spartans. You've got Holland, Davis-Jones, Singleton, Ma, Fluker. If you're looking for the 3, you could probably go to Holland. You could go to Davis-Jones, and certainly you could go to Ma if you make the defensive stops, or if Boise State continues to miss free throws. Boise State's got Hansen out there with Bays. Naro, Hull, and Lalott. Lalott and Bays, not very good free throw shooters. Bays at 64%, Lalott at 58%. And we have, appears to be a foul. It's on Holland. That's Jada Holland's first foul. And with the defense that she has provided tonight, she's had a great defensive game, and I think part of that is displayed by the lack of fouls.
Credit to Holland to be at the top of the press, guarding a lot of the ball handlers a lot of the time, and not fouling, especially in this type of game where there have been some really aggressive plays and a lot of fouls called.
Second free throw on the way. Good. 8-point game, 20 seconds to go. Shot clock is turned off. The Spartans must score quickly. And Holland holding, looking for Ma. Ma, corner three. Off the mark. And Fluker gets the rebound. She's fouled. And that foul on Hansen. So that's Hansen's third foul.
In the stretch that the Broncos went on that run during the third quarter and also the fourth, you saw that they were mainly in control of the boards. But now that momentum has kind of turned where San Jose State has been able to get a lot of offensive boards in these last possessions.
Fluker misses the first free throw. Still an 8-point deficit for the Spartans with 8.7 seconds to go. And Fluker gets the first free throw. So we've got a timeout for Boise State. That was Boise State's last timeout. 77-70. Well, 8.7 seconds to go. How do you make up the 7 points in that amount of time? I'd imagine you just foul immediately and hope for Boise State to miss. And the Broncos, from the free throw line, have not been good tonight. 24 of 39, 61%. So certainly if you can stretch this game out, string this game along, it just takes a couple threes and then you're right there.
Especially if you can't get the steal right away. You want to try to dictate who the ball does go into and try to have it being a lower free throw percentage shooter.
You have Hansen, Bays, Narrow, Hull, and Lalott. We mentioned Lalott and Bays, low percentage free throw shooters. Hull is also a lower percentage free throw shooter. Entering tonight was 67.5%. Tonight she is 5 of 7. Bays, the low percentage, but 2 for 2 tonight. Lalott only 1 attempt tonight and 0 for 1. But all of the Bronco players have missed from the line this evening. Bounce pass to Hull, and she's fouled.
Spartans tries to come out in that possession in a little bit of a zone look.
Trista Hull to the line. She has 11 points on the evening. The first free throw gets the Boise State bounce, down and in. Second free throw on its way. That's left short. And a timeout called by San Jose State. The Spartans have 2 left, now only 1 remaining. So I'd imagine the Spartans will be able to advance the ball.
Could imagine you want to try to get a quick hitter look into Sabrina Ma. You want some threes at this point in the game with this much time left. One of the plays that they've ran before that they've had some success in is the elevator screen.
So I'm guessing that's what April Phillips is drawing up right there in that huddle.
Possibly, when executed correctly, and especially if the defense doesn't expect it, the elevator screen can have a really high success rate.
Now, time is of the essence, so is that set up where, because you're coming off the screen, it's an instant catch and shoot, right?
It is an instant catch and shoot. You can even see they're in a little bit of a box format now.
Singleton. We'll find Fluker. Fluker holding. And a lot of time being taken off the clock, and this should do it. Holland, a 3 at the buzzer. Off target. And this game is over. Boise State defeats San Jose State by a score of 78-70. But Sophia, the Spartans certainly made this game very interesting, and they played hard the whole way through.
They played hard, maybe a couple minutes in that, between that third and fourth quarter, where they gave up a little bit too many offensive rebounds that you can look to as one of the primary causes for them to deflate a little bit, but they were able to show a lot of fight in coming back. It's just one of those cases where, despite that fight, you want an actual win, not a moral win.
The Broncos, no field goals the last 6.5 minutes of this game. It really speaks to how the Spartans were able to come back in this matchup. The Broncos 1 for their last 11, 0 for their last 5. And as we go to the final stretch of the regular season, I mean, if you're a team in the Mountain West Conference and you have to face the Spartans in that first round, that's got to be a little daunting, or maybe not daunting, but a little scary. Maybe you're a little nervous about that.
A little nervous just based off how much aggression and skill and energy that the Spartans play with. It's never fun to be in those matchups where you know it's going to be a battle, despite what it might say on the scoreboard at the end.
Well, certainly, even if you were to defeat the Spartans in the first round of a conference tournament game, how much does that take out of your team? You still have to win 3 more to win the tournament, right?
Spartans, they're always going to go down fighting. They're always going to try to scratch and claw their way back, as we saw in this recent game. So you can definitely hope that they'll do that same thing to whoever we match up in the first round.
Well, we look at some of the numbers here to end this ball game. For San Jose State, the rebounding total is 25 rebounds. For San Jose State, 42 for Boise State. And the second chance points, Boise State, 19 second chance points. San Jose State, 11. There's the difference in the game right there. You said it, Sophia. Those second chances in the third quarter, in the early part of the fourth quarter, that really kind of did it in for the Spartans' chances there.
Even if it's something where off of those offensive rebounds they're not able to score, it's taking time off the clock where the Broncos are in control of the possession, leading less time for the Spartans to be able to make up that deficit, as well as they did convert on a lot of those offensive boards.
The field goal percentage respectable for the Spartans, good field goal percentage for both teams, but the lack of ball movement by San Jose State, I think, also hurt them. 3 assists throughout an entire game, that's really just not enough, right?
Definitely not enough. Credit to the Broncos in how good they were able to play their defense. A lot of what the Spartans' offense derives from is drive and kick, where a lot of those drive and kick scenarios were taken away by the Broncos' defense.
All right, well, the final here, 78-70. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from this one, where Boise State, they had an 8-point victory earlier tonight, and the Broncos just better ball movement, able to get the big shots, but the Spartans did have some moments of their own down low. Certainly you would have liked to see more of that, but the Spartans, their offense may be hindered a little bit by the foul trouble that a lot of their scorers got in. Jada Holland, really the only notable scorer who stayed out of foul trouble for the Spartans, and really that means you have limited options going down the stretch.
Very limited options. In addition to, when you have a player that's been scoring, it's not even the fact that if they get the ball sometimes, but just that they're on the floor, they create spacing issues. it makes a defender question whether or not they should go help or stay on their man.
Well, Sophia, it's been fun this season having you for the second half of the season and our coverage on the Mountain West Network. And Saturday, you'll be back here on the Mountain West Network for the rivalry game, San Jose State and Fresno State. You and Mark Jones, your dad, will have the father-daughter broadcast crew. So looking forward to that broadcast. I know I'll be tuning in as well as many others. And hopefully San Jose State, they can close out the home stretch of the schedule with a victory against their rivals.
Would be amazing for them to be able to close out the stretch against their rivals. Not only is it an emotional win, but it's going to be a skill win. When the Spartans try to compete, they need to make sure that they're executing. We kind of saw times in this past game where maybe they weren't fully locked in. They need to be locked in the entire game next one.
All right, well said. Well, that will do it for our broadcast here from the Provident Credit Union Event Center. There's the final again, 78-70. Boise State defeats San Jose State. We'd like to thank our director, Matt Taylor, our replay operator, Trenton Ross, as well as our graphics operator, Sam Barish, and our entire crew, all of our camera operators as well. For Sophia Jones, I'm Daniel Barrera. Once again, the final score. Boise State defeats San Jose State 78-70. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of San Jose State basketball on the Mountain West Network. Have a great rest of your Thursday night, everybody.